be here to talk Dirty Bird football with y'all.
Absolutely. Philip, a.k.a. Mr. Avitz, what's going on, man? It's been a long 2 weeks, brother. It's time to talk Falcon football. A lot of Falcon news has broken, a lot of restructures, a lot of around the league news is broken. Philip, what's going on, man, before we get into the football talk? What's been going on, homie?
Not a whole lot, actually. We just been playing a couple games here and there, but, just enjoying time. I would say this is like our little mini vacation, you know what I mean? So we're usually here every, Friday and, sometimes Tuesdays, so, this has been a good little mini vacation. So, but we back, and I'm ready to talk, man. Let's talk.
It has been an off season, as you said. The off season started off kind of slow. Now it's starting to ramp back up. We're a month,
away from the draft.
It's getting real. It's getting close, and the draft is right around the corner. So now the Dirty Bird talk really starts now. Robert, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here tonight. Robert, correct me if I'm wrong. You have the surgery tomorrow, right?
Yes, 8:15 tomorrow my time will be the first surgery. Looks like I'm probably looking at maybe early June before I get back to work. So it's been an emotional roller coaster ride, but we're going to get through it. I mean, God's watching over us, and I've got the support of the Falcon fan base and you guys in my corner. Can't ask for anything more, man.
Absolutely. Rouse up, Robert. We're glad to have you here tonight, brother. A lot of Falcon news to talk about, especially since you may be out for a couple of weeks. So definitely going to get your views and aspects of what could happen leading up into the draft, capital, free agency era, clearing up cap space. Rick, that goes to you, dog. Glad to have you here tonight. It's been a long, long break for DFU, but we're here to talk Falcon football. Rick, what's going on, man? How you been doing?
Shit, man, it's been longer for me.
It has been.
Breaking news. Last week, I was in the hospital all week.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Had a little bit of stomach issue. Made a call to a doctor. Did a CT scan. Called me Monday morning. Said, go to the emergency room right now.
Sheesh.
Yeah, dude. I got a major stomach infection and all this stuff. Got my little buddy that I got to carry around with me now.
Oh, nice.
Basically a personal IV. Got to keep medicine 24 hours a day for the next month. So,
damn it, Rick. We're glad to have you here tonight, brother. Definitely glad to have you.
We're praying for you too, brother.
Absolutely. DFU, glad to have everybody here tonight that is tuned in. We have a full cast here for you tonight, Falcon fans. We're ready to talk Dirty Bird football, and we might as well start it off from the top. Cody, we haven't really, we did speak on the Grady Jarrett situation. We'll start off from the top with Grady Jarrett. Grady officially breaks the news to the fan base, does it video style per letter, doesn't do the letter thing, comes to you live behind the camera. Cody, Grady Jarrett's farewell to Atlanta. Your thoughts and words on that?
Yeah, man, I would say it was nice to see Grady do a video instead of, do a regular, press release, in the newspaper. You could definitely tell that, or for me anyways, I really felt like Grady still wanted to be here and that there was too many business decisions being made for Grady to be here any longer. But it was good to hear from Grady himself, instead of reading words in a newspaper. Definitely going to miss him. He's doing great. He did a great thing by doing that. Going to miss Grady. I hope he does well unless we play the Bears. But yeah, definitely going to miss Grady. And it just really sucks that he was let go because of business decisions instead of, retiring here or just being done, man. So.
Yep. Grady Jarrett Phillip officially out of Atlanta. It's been a couple of weeks now. He is obviously a Chicago Bear. We spoke on this last podcast, but now Grady addresses the Falcon Nation. It's now officially a Falcon address situation. Grady Jarrett talks to the fan base. Phillip, your thoughts on Grady Jarrett's farewell to Atlanta?
Yeah, man, it was a good, heartfelt message. It was something that, you could just tell in his voice that he wasn't ready to leave. He wasn't, it was just something he wasn't ready for. But like he said, it's a business and he had to prepare for it. So, he did what he had to do. He spoke about, never wearing 97 ever again anywhere else besides Atlanta. So, that number means something. So maybe that's, maybe that's the new number 2 for us. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that we can carry on, we can wear on, and he said he would respect that. So much love to Grady, and I hope he continues being great. But unless we play you, but it's still it's respect there though. You know what I mean? It ain't like a hate, like F you, bro. It's
Right.
respect there. But
Absolutely.
I hope we win.
Robert, coming to you with that Grady Jarrett question. Before we do so, shout out to the Sports Nuts, another podcaster here on the YouTube Sports. Check out the Sports Nuts on YouTube. It says hashtag DFU. Can y'all give us in the Greenville Pickens area a shout out? We have 5 wildfires around us. Definitely prayers up for those in Greenville, those that have been affected by the fires already. Definitely nothing to play with. I mean, that's deadly there. So yeah, definitely prayers up to you guys. Robert, your thoughts on Grady Jarrett, man? It's officially official. He is out of here. He gave his farewell. All is said and done. No hurt feelings. Grady is gone. Robert, your thoughts on the final goodbye?
It was a classy move on Grady's part, as always. He's always been, he's always been top notch, and I like how he did it in a video instead of the letter. And we're going to miss him. Hated to see him go, and he said that he didn't see it coming and all that. And who knows what's going on inside the front office? My personal preference was they would have, done something to keep him here. I mean, his father retired. He played his whole career, with the Falcons. I feel that they, should have made more steps to keep him here. But, like I said, we don't know what goes on in those meetings. Love Grady. Going to miss him. Wish him the best in Chicago as long as he's not going up against us. And just hope he continues to stay great.
Absolutely, absolutely. Rick, that question rotates to you, brother, before we get into the Falcons restructures the past few weeks. Terry has been cooking. Rick, Grady Jarrett's farewell from Atlanta.
I love the video. I was happy to see it. To me, honestly, I got this little piece of my heart that will always live here that's kind of scorned by this number 11 guy that kind of left us on some shady-ass terms with the shady-ass on Titans paper, too. Anyways, so when I saw that from Grady, I was like, see, our future franchise great, Matt Ryan, Grady Jarrett, there's only a couple of them, Julio, Roddy, and that one guy just couldn't do it the right way. And that's why, for me, Grady Jarrett now leaped above him. Sorry, it was Julio. Nope, Grady Jarrett, because he gave back to the fans. He gave us a good farewell, gave us a nice 3 minutes, whatever it was. I did hate that part where he was kind of like, well, I didn't want to leave, but it was business decisions, that kind of, but got to roll with the franchise. It's all about the logo. So wish him the well. Hopefully he won't eat us up in Chicago, but I think he's going to do great things, and I'll watch him next season. Can't wait to see him.
Absolutely. Grady Jarrett.
50, by the way.
Just to go with what you guys have stated about Grady Jarrett, I could agree with all you guys. Man, Grady Jarrett, what he meant to me as a Falcon player, man. Grady Jarrett was him. Super Bowl, when
most sacks in the Super Bowl.
Dude, from that, you always knew Grady was him, but from that game forward, that really established Grady Jarrett of who he was for the Atlanta Falcons in the defense of that 2016 team. So, always hats off to Grady. Hope you have a great career. Hopefully one day you do grab that ring. Wish it could have been with the Atlanta Falcons, but as you all stated, a new chapter here for Grady and a new chapter for the Atlanta Falcons. So as we take our step forward, speaking on Grady Jarrett and the money that the Falcons saved with this cut of Grady Jarrett. We spoke on it, guys, here in the podcast room. We talked about it. We said it was either going to be Grady, it was either going to be Anamata, or it's either going to be both. So far, it's been Grady. I look for the Anamata cut to come very soon. I believe that will be very, very soon. Anamata will be another cut. But you cleared, I believe it was like 16 to 18 mil with the Grady Jarrett cut. You were going to pay Grady next season anyway. It was going to be an extension. The contract was up. Instead, you eat the money now. You grab the money. Restructure-wise, in the last few weeks, this is per Sports Track on Twitter, the Falcons have proceeded 3 significant transitions to create cap space in the recent weeks. Extended Jake Matthews, freeing $8.5 million. Salary convert safety A.J. Terrell, freeing $10 million. Salary convert guard Chris Lindstrom, freeing $10 million. Atlanta now heads towards April with around $12 million of top 51 space. Falcon fans, you have money now to sign the draft class. You don't have, you don't have to worry about how you're going to sign this draft class now. You have that. You also have an extended free agency A lot of people tend to forget big moves happen even after the draft and free agency. It's not always that first term. It's not always that first term. Philip, we got a good topic to talk about that, but before we do so, let's talk about Terry. A lot of Falcon fans and some Falcon fans may disagree, but I would say a lot of Falcon fans were saying Terry was on the hot seat. If Terry doesn't get it right this offseason, Terry could possibly be out of Atlanta. Cody, this goes to you, sir. Terry, this offseason, I want you to give me an honest grade of how you feel so far, of how Terry has performed this offseason with the money that he was due, with the decision making Terry had to make. And mind you, Falcon fans, offseason is far from over. So this is just a mid-season, off-season grade. Cody, goes to you. What would you grade Terry and why for so far throughout his off-season tendency? Not even looking at the past few years, just this season here, money-wise. How has Terry performed this offseason?
Well, right now I'm going to have to give him a solid C. I definitely want to see what he's got coming up. Obviously, like everybody here, wasn't thrilled about the Grady Jarrett release and not being able to keep your superstar in home. I definitely like the Floyd free agency signing. That was good. It worries me a little bit when we signed the wide receiver. I think I was joking with you, Chase, about, that free agency wide receiver signing is one sign, like we're one more defensive free agent signing away from drafting the best offensive player available.
Let me throw this at you real quick, Cody. Guess who meets with the Atlanta Falcons coming up pretty soon?
I'll say
receiver Isaiah Bond from Texas, a speedster. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'll say I'll probably scream a little bit inside if we take an offensive weapon with the departure of Grady Jarrett. Now, again, like I say, I'm giving Terry a C for right now just because I think the Floyd signing was good, but it wasn't as good as the bad was of Grady Jarrett not still being here. So I'm still going to give Terry some time, but I still feel like he's on the hot seat, fellas. To me, it's not even necessarily about the moves that he makes this off season going into the season. It's going to be, do we get into the playoffs this year? Do we win the division this year? I still feel like Terry's seat's pretty warm. And so he better figure something out because if, Floyd is your biggest free agency signing, we've got problems. Unless one of these rookies just absolutely comes out and plays like Debo or Keanu Neal or, has a season like what's his face? I always forget his name. 16 sack guy, Vic Beasley. Unless you get a Vic Beasley season out of one of these rookies, I would feel that Terry, if he doesn't get it, we don't get in the playoffs, Terry may be gone.
Cody, you talk about guys that can get it right this offseason, younger guys. Let's talk about a guy that didn't even play his rookie season, Braylon Trice. Let's talk about that character. Could he be the guy that takes it and makes it different this offseason? What I'm trying to say is Leonard Floyd, right? If I could give that a grade, I would say that pickup to me was a B. I would say Leonard Floyd was a B free agency signing just because of the sack stature that he brings every year, the stat-wise.
And the
Leonard Floyd
got him at
Leonard Floyd plays good football. Right. So my thing is, if you have a Braylon Trice, now nobody knows what Braylon Trice is going to be. This defensive coordinator didn't even draft Braylon Trice. We have a new DC now in the building, Jeff Ulbrich. He may not even perform to what Jeff Ulbrich considers a number one pick. But could Braylon Trice be the missing piece of this defensive puzzle that was hurt very, very early in last year's offseason?
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely can be. Like you say, we don't know what he's going to be because we haven't, we don't have tape on him. But my biggest thing is I think out of all the guys on defense, if he's going to step up and make that next step to be that guy, it's going to be Arnold Ebiketie or it's going to be Rukaroro. One of those two guys right there for me is going to make or break our defense. Is going to, or not really make or break it, but is what's going to take that next step for our defense to become bottom of the, well, I think we were ranked 31 in sacks.
You were right there, dead last.
I mean, almost dead last.
Let's just say last.
Right.
it was bad.
I don't know about, again, I don't know about Braylon, but I think the two guys that can make that step and really kind of save Terry's ass and make our defense get better is you're looking at Arnold Ebiketie or looking at Rook.
Absolutely. Cody is great talking Falcon football. Philip, it comes to you right here, brother. Terry, so far, midseason, offseason grade. What do you give Terry and why? Come at me. Let me know. Be honest with it. Real quick, Terry in the chat with it. Says Floyd is another Georgia guy to take Grady's spirit with the team. Plus, he played for the Georgia Bulldogs. I want to give a shout to everybody in the comment section real quick. Obnal, Sterling Woods, the Sports Nuts, T. Terry. Shout out to you guys for leaving comments. Philip, the stage is yours, brother.
I'm gonna give him a C+ for right now. We're still getting into things. We freed up a good bit of money, and that's a big thing. What we were dealt with. It sucked to see Grady go, but in a way, it's like now you have the money to do certain things, but it still sucks to see him go. You know what I'm saying? So, but like with the hand that he was dealt with, he brought us a little bit more money than what we had, and then we had some good little small signings here. Like not
at one point, you hardly had money to even sign a draft class.
Exactly. I mean, and he found a way to get that. But it sucks the way it had to happen, though. But we do.
I would say, just from speaking in past seasons and what Terry's had to do, Terry's a GM that's not afraid to pull the trigger on the hard free agency move, like the hard depth chart move. Yep. He has not been one to bite the bullet when it comes to that. Robert, this transitions to you, dog. Terry, give me an offseason grade. How do you feel about this offseason? Has he done enough to not be on the hot seat, or as Cody said, you got to make the playoffs or your seat's hot all season?
That's kind of a little bit more where I'm feeling. To me at this point, it's not even winning the division. You have to get the playoffs. You've been here for how long? You have to get the playoffs.
Yeah. And I agree. I give Terry a C+. And one of the reasons is he's not shying away from the fact that the Kirk Cousins contract is basically blown up in his face, and he's showing some pretty good poise. He's, like I said, making these smaller pickups. Nothing against Floyd. I mean, I'm glad he's here. But with the restructures, he's got us a little bit of cap space. He's willing to work around this huge blunder, and he's doing it with confidence. So I give him a C+. It'd be hard to give him anything higher than that right now because, like I said, we don't know how this is going to turn out.
Right.
And, you guys have been Falcon fans, pretty much your whole lives like I have. That being a fan of this organization, it's like, you're waiting for something to screw up.
Yeah.
But, his seat is still warm, and I think that we have to make the playoffs or he will be gone. But, like I said, he's showing poise, he's showing confidence in what he's doing. And, that makes me give him the C+.
Okay. A bunch of C's across the board right here. Rick, are you going to switch it up? Or are you a C+ kind of guy too? What has Terry done this offseason? Do you rock with it, or are you kind of questioning his moves?
So I like his moves overall. I like Leonard Floyd. I think he'll be kind of enthusiastic to come back home, show out for his home team. His mom's a Falcons fan. I kind of like that energy. I liked Jordan Fuller. I think he's a little bit younger than Simmons. It might be a wash. I don't know if he's that much better of a player. He's an up and down kind of player. I do like Diablo, though. I watched some of his videos, and he looks like an explosive player. So I think he's going to be a good replacement for Landman. Mm-hmm. But for me, for Terry, it's always boiled down to the draft. So we had TD, who I thought was pretty good in the draft, who was terrible at free agent signings.
Yeah.
And now I think Terry is excellent at free agent signings. I feel like every season I'm like, wow, these free agent signings are actually surprising. But his draft players didn't start. Like last year, we didn't have one starter. So for me, this year, I'm going to put him at a C. If at least, I think we have 4 draft picks, we might have 5. We need 2 starters out of this draft.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. And even if we make the playoffs, if we lose that playoff game, if we look back at his draft and they didn't make an impact from the past 2 drafts, you're not setting us up for success, man. I need somebody from last year to show out. Rook, some of those other guys. We need at least 2 or 3 of them to make an impact.
Rick, I think that statement there alone is why Kyle Pitts is still on the roster.
Yeah.
I think that's why that trade has not happened, because he drafted Kyle Pitts so early, and if your seat really is hot, how does it look if you're trading your number 4 pick your first season as a GM in the draft.
But at the same time, while there is the negative, there's also he did something that no other GM would have done in the NFL, and he took Michael Penix, and that could be our franchise player.
Yep.
So we also got to give credit there.
Absolutely.
And Bijan, who's a game-breaking player.
Straight
so
London.
he hits high.
It's the third. It's the third to the fifth is where Terry just
where
strikes
TD
out.
Kill it.
Yeah.
Third to fifth, I'd be like, TD, who's Grady Jarrett? Who's this guy?
Right.
So
And it's just,
I'm going to sit with Steve until I see the draft.
Yeah.
Well, good thing
absolutely.
he doesn't have a third this year.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, y'all kind of got me wanting to do a mock draft now on the channel. I don't know. We'll save that for the viewers to come up soon. But we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a lot to talk about in just one person in particular, and that's Money Man Kirk Cousins himself. Says he will not waive the trade clause until after the draft comes into effect. I'll give my views on this real quick. I think it's a selfish move. I think Kirk Cousins is a backup regardless right now. Even if a team was to draft a quarterback, you're still going to play that backup role here in Atlanta. So why not go ahead and waive that trade clause? Because that not only alone gets us out from under the Kirk Cousins situation. Yes, we owe him money, but that would also give you the chance to go ahead and make that second string quarterback situation early on into the offseason, something you don't have to worry about. So I think the Kirk Cousins situation is a selfish move. I think Kirk is very salty with the Atlanta Falcons. I think that he thought, and I truly believe he had no idea that the Falcons were drafting Michael Penix. I mean, that really.
But like, what do you expect? You're 36. You go down. Who's next? Who the hell do we have? Who do we have?
He proved him
Why
right.
are you salty?
He proved him right.
Yeah,
Bro,
he did.
like,
And no
He
offense,
did.
it would have been different for me if out the gate they started Michael Penix, but they were diehard Kirk Cousins. They canned our season on Kirk Cousins, so they gave you the chance. It's not our fault you didn't execute.
Yep, absolutely. So
you had it in
Cody,
your hands.
that's now for you guys. Take it and run with it. Kirk Cousins says he will not waive his no trade clause until after the season, after the draft. My bad.
Yeah, that's fine. You can take your no trade clause and shove it where the sun don't shine, Kirk, because my honest thoughts are on this is your ass is here in Atlanta as the backup until probably week 4 or 5 until somebody loses a quarterback. So you better get comfortable, riding the bench, watching, the
Cleveland has already backed out of the deal because
yeah.
Cleveland is now calling for Dak Prescott out of the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, like I said,
Dallas can have him. Hey.
Yeah, I would say, honestly, like I say,
they love overpaying quarterbacks.
If this is totally off topic, but if Dallas trades Dak Prescott, you know who they're drafting first round, right?
Oh yeah,
Shador.
Oh yeah.
They're going Shador. That's so.
What pick are they?
They're 12 now.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Well, my thing is like, I'm still pissed at Kirk for what he did. And, and this is a thing that I have to keep in mind because it is easy to get mad at Kirk for what he did, what he's done and all that stuff. But we have to remember the reason that, we were even in the position to win the division was because of Kirk. Now, he fumbled the fuck out of it after that Saints game and not being honest about being healthy.
This comment just took me out.
Let's say, yeah, I saw that.
Sheesh, not Felipe Franks, homie. God. Dude, when that shit came across my phone, I was like, Arthur Smith's back. Like, is he Arthur
Don't
Smith?
worry, guys. He's only special team.
When I saw that shit, I was
player.
like, this has got to be a joke. I had to go check. And when I saw it was real, I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
That's how me bad he was, bro.
But yeah, as far as Kirk Cousins go, I mean, whatever. Like I said, I think he'll probably be in a Falcon uniform until week 3 or 4 and somebody comes knocking. So he can wait and he can ride the bench and stay away from our young quarterback if you're going to be salty and not help. But while you're here, you might as well help.
He don't need your help. That's the thing, because he's already got it like that. He's built different.
Philip, your thoughts, Kirk Cousins.
I'm not tripping about this whole situation at all. We got Buddy. We got him tied down. He's screwing himself. Let's just put it this way. Look at
balls, you say.
We got him. He's strapped the hell down. He ain't going nowhere. Because listen, if you're thinking about it, his whole ordeal was he don't want to be done the same way. This draft class of QBs is not as like stacked as it was last year.
Absolutely.
You are dumb right now. You're only making it worse for you because once they fill in them positions, nobody's gonna want you. Maybe for your backup, but after that, what else? You are 36. Nobody's gonna give you the whole world in your hand just for you to, just basically what you did at the end of this season. I mean,
what an up and down season, man! What a crazy roller coaster ride it was.
Personally, I still like him as a human being, but as a player right now, you're pissing me off because you want to make it seem like we did you wrong, but you did us wrong.
Yeah, in reality,
we paid you. We gave you what you wanted, and then now look how you're reacting.
Yeah, and you know what else? Like,
but it's okay though. We got Penix, and you ain't taking that spot.
Penix is gonna be all right. Robert, the question goes to you, homie. As my guy Keith Simmons in the comments says, family Kirk is delusional. He's 37. He's fleeced the Falcons with the contract and was still hurt. Robert, your thoughts on Kirk Cousins? Shout out to Keith Simmons over on YouTube.
Well, it's like Philip said. I mean, he was 36 when we signed him. He's coming off an Achilles injury. I mean, be a realist for crying out loud. You know good and well that any organization, any general manager with any sense is going to be looking to the future, especially after sinking that much money into a 36-year-old guy that is coming off an Achilles injury. Kurt, don't hand us that crap, okay, pal? You should have known good and well. I mean, you're a professional football player. You know that this is a professional league. It is a business. Don't hand us that crap that you were blindsided, you didn't see us coming, blah, blah, blah. Just be a man. Be a man and support the kid if you're still going to be in a Falcon uniform come training camp.
That's what was so weird to me. Like, he came off as a guy that was going to be – and I'm not saying he didn't support Penix because Penix even backed him when Penix was gave the starting role. He was like, hey, Kirk's a good dude, yada, yada, yada. He's taught me this. He's been a great leader. So that connection
maybe
may
it's
be
just
good.
the front office,
Maybe,
him in the front office.
Maybe. But to me – yeah, Kirk has been a little selfish. I think if a team would call draft night and want to trade, and that would benefit Kirk and benefit the Falcons, why not waive that trade? Why not waive that trade clause? Rick, your thoughts on the Kirk Cousins situation?
I just don't see where he's going to go.
I don't either.
I'm looking at the draft order, and I'm like, the only team that really needs a quarterback is Tennessee and Cleveland. New York Giants just signed Russell. Jacksonville's good. Vegas, Jets, they all got quarterbacks. So it's either Cleveland or Tennessee, and they're the top two picks, and they're going to get a young guy. So you're going to be a backup unless somebody gets hurt. I just don't see the answer. And I also now don't see how the culture fits with him in the locker room. Now, these guys, listen, the media and reality behind the locker room doors are two completely different things. So this may not even be a Kirk thing for all we know. It could be some bullshit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm ready for it to be over, dude. Honestly, Kirk was here for 8 games, 10 games. It doesn't even dude, just get out of here.
I'll forget about it tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't really make an impact.
I'm gonna be honest. I forgot about him once Penix.
Oh, when Penix took the field against the Giants, it was
because it was on my birthday too, bro. So
but I did see
that was.
I did see they were talking about that Dak Prescott trade. It came out that the Cowboys are like, Dak's not even on the trade list.
Right.
And the Cleveland Browns are interested in putting together a trade package today to the Falcons. But again,
so they are still in talks. They are still in talks with the Kirk Cousins situation.
Yeah, as of today, let's see. Cleveland was interested in acquiring Prescott. Confirmed he's not in the trade. Truth is, it'll be nearly impossible. Blah, blah, blah. The Browns are considering acquiring Kirk Cousins from the Falcons. Reportedly have an offer ready.
Okay.
The trade suggests Cleveland would receive Cousins in exchange for a 2026 fifth-round pick.
Oh, my God. Kurt, you scumbag, dude. Like, what a piece of shit. Like, maybe you could have used that for the leverage of Myles Garrett. Who knows? But good God, man. Like,
it's tough.
Yeah, it's a huge agreement. Myles Garrett got a fat contract.
If we're being real, we always talk about We always talk about how everybody has to take care of themselves. We see what the business did to Grady Jarrett. So at some point, like, no offense, Kirk's got to be greedy as hell too. He was greedy when he took that contract, and he's like, "Look, I'm not doing this again." Sorry.
Let's just be honest. If we really track his
I
whole
don't
entire
necessarily
career,
blame them. It's
he's
kinda
been
like,
he's been greedy the entire time, his whole career. Or I wouldn't say
Oh,
him.
he's
It's just
always
more
been
of his-
paid.
It's either him or
Sam
his
Bradford.
agent. You know, him and his agent. They are gaining a paycheck every single year.
Yeah. Playing the game
Any
the right
team
way.
he's with, he's gaining a fucking bag, dude. Like what?
The
It's
wife
not
in the
about
chat
me.
with it.
The franchise
says
is
if-
up, so
The wife says if Kurt leaves, who's your backup quarterback pick? Who are you rocking with at QB2 if you do have a trade package with Kirk Cousins draft night?
Dog. I seen one where it was Tennessee for a third round pick and Will Levis and a
Will
third round
Levis.
pick.
Will Levis? They're wanting to trade Will
I'll
Levis
take that.
already?
Will
I'll
Levis and
take a
third
second round.
pick. For a backup,
Oh,
no, do
yeah.
I think he's gonna be that guy?
Oh,
No. But for a backup, I'll take him. He's a
Yeah.
guy that could probably come in and win a couple games if he had to. God forbid that. You know, I don't want that to happen.
I'm thinking when I'm looking at a vet quarterback, or as a QB2, I'm thinking vet. I'm thinking somebody that's played it a couple times, has done that backup role, had that backup lead. And a really good one. I don't know if he's on the roster right now, but just from what he's done in Baltimore,
It's
when
like Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph's a decent, QB2. I mean, I
Get
would
that
take
shit
it.
out my face.
It's a QB2.
Steelers.
Get that shit out my face.
Who played with I want to say his last name was Huntley. He was a quarterback too
It was
for the
with
Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
He was a freaking gunslinger, had wheels on him, dude. I feel like that would be a good.
And similar style too, yeah.
I think they were talking to Kurt Benkert, thinking about getting.
That
him
would
back.
be sweet. I would
Hey,
take
man,
Kurt.
shout out to Ben Kurt, bro. He's all over.
I like
Twitter,
Kurt
bro.
Benkert, man.
Showing love to Penix. God, bro, he loves Penix. So shout out to Ben Kurt, bro, and Drake. You got a mutual respect there, bro.
Facts. So, Cody, who do you have as a backup quarterback pick?
Felipe
You had-
Franks, man. I'm gonna say you got him right there. No,
Dude, he's a tight end now. He's not even a quarterback anymore.
no. I would say honestly, God,
That's how ass he
honestly,
was.
That's
I
tough,
couldn't even
man.
tell you,
Like
I couldn't even tell you a list of backup quarterbacks available right now.
I couldn't either. Like I said, I really think Kirk is. I mean, it's
Go get Joe Flacco.
we'll just be honest with it. I mean, Kirk is
Ooh,
probably
look
Kirk
at this
is,
one.
Teddy
Look at this one.
Daddy said the same thing, bro. I will take Teddy Bridge.
I'm telling
Dude,
you,
he
right
came
now,
out of coaching high school football, took him to the state championship, and then said, "Hey, let's go sign with the Detroit Lions." And then they didn't do shit in the playoffs.
No, I'm telling you right
Jared
now.
Goff said.
I don't think the Browns. I can't see the Falcons taking, what did you say, a 5th round or a 6th round pick for Kirk and still having to take on that money. That
Fifth.
to me, that's not worth it. I'd rather have Kirk on the bench than
if you're gonna pay him regardless.
Yeah, if you're gonna pay it. So if you're gonna pay him, you might as well pay him on the bench and pay him, for the experience. Because to Rick's point, what goes on in the media and the circus that is not always the reality in the locker room. These guys are professionals. These guys work together constantly. So behind the closed doors of the Falcons locker room, it could be totally different. I don't think these guys have any malice towards Kirk because all these guys want to get paid. Because let's be honest, their career is, if you're lucky, more than 5 years. And so they understand that you've got to go get your money while you can get your money. So I don't think anybody in that Falcons locker room is upset with Kirk or is mad at Kirk. How many times did we see Bijan come out and say, hey, Kirk is like the dad in the locker room because he's old enough to be a lot of our dads, So I think at the end of the day, a lot of these guys understand that the situation Kirk's in because it's, again, to Rick's point, we just saw what the business side of football does to players like even Grady Jarrett, who have been here for 10 years.
Matt Ryan.
And Matt Ryan and Julio and Roddy White and, unfortunately, just some of these guys that, have either lost their jobs because, they're like coaches with, Roddy White and Kyle Shanahan, or, you've got the situation Matt or Grady or, and all that stuff. So at the end of the day, I think Kirk is probably your backup quarterback until then, but then that's when you got the problem. But for the foreseeable future, I think Kirk's in an Atlanta uniform backing up, Penix.
Absolutely.
I've
Rick, Robert.
I've never thought about this before until this conversation. But is this the first time, I think since Matt Ryan, that we actually have a backup quarterback problem? Because we've had a solid backup quarterback. Yeah. That's the one position we've never had to worry about.
Yep.
Matt Schaub, we have all kinds of good guys in the wing.
Yep.
Now I'm like, wait a second. I never thought about that.
Who would technically, after Kirk, who is our third quarterback?
They had a guy they picked up. They had a guy on the practice squad, and he's probably still rocking the practice squad.
Dude, that's right, from the XFL guy that they signed. That's right. I can't even remember his name.
I don't think but he has none of that NFL experience. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, I want a true vet in that quarterback room with.
But that boy play with the Birmingham Stallions though.
Yeah,
but you telling me right now though, in a pin, I'm not saying Matt Ryan come back and back up Penix by no means by this statement, but tell me at the end of the day that you don't have Matt Ryan somewhere in your corner to help the kid in case you know what I mean. Like, let's be honest, Matt Ryan is seen hanging out at training camp. Matt Ryan is a Falcon. And so you're telling me if in a pinch of things, like if Kirk Cousins pretty much, gives the middle finger to the organization and to Penix, you're telling me, Arthur Blank, Coach Ross, somebody can't pick up the phone and be like, hey, Matt, come down for, a month, come down for a week and help the kid. Matt's still got that dog, man. So, I mean, I'm not worried about the influence for our young quarterback. We got a guy.
Rick, Robert, that question goes to you, brother. If you hadn't, a choice of QB2, who would that be?
Well, I know this is going to sound off the wall and, I might get, people laughing at me, but it would actually, if something happened to Penix, God forbid, it would help kind of, settle the fan base down and, put some butts in the seats. What's Stetson Bennett's status with the Rams right now?
There you go.
I saw something about
Hey, I would take it.
Same. I was about to say, I think I've seen something where I don't think he's returning back to the Rams.
No, I think I saw something about that too.
Because I'm pretty sure somebody threw up the idea on Twitter in the comment section somewhere. I can't remember.
Bad. I'm trying to get something set up here, man. Give me 1 second. While I'm trying to do this, let's go ahead and go to our next topic for tonight. I want to do a little quick mock draft. It'll be one pick. We decide if we want to trade back or we make a selection. It'll be just the first round only. But before we do that, I want to go around the table real quick. Shout out to Rick for this topic here tonight. Give me your top 5. You ain't got to give me all 5. Just give me maybe 1 or 2 of draft candidates that you would like to select at 15 or in the first round. If not at 15, but in the first round.
I guess I'll start. Still definitely high on Mike Green from Marshall, and of course Walker out of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say those are my 2 guys. You just after Grady Jarrett was gone, you got to get somebody in there to help out Caden Ellis. You got to get somebody in there that can get the quarterback on the ground to help out Rook, help out AK. So my thing is, God, Terry, please, for the love of God, break the trend of best player available and just go get your fucking need. I am so tired of this. Oh, well, if you go get the best player available, it helps your team in the future. I don't give a shit about 2026, 2027, 2028. I'm focused on 2025 and what we can do right now. So please address your fucking needs. Quit addressing needs that you might need in 3 or 4 years or 6 years when, Drake, when we're talking about Drake London's contract extension. Or it's like, please just address the need that you've got right now in your pass rush, for the love of God. Just address it, please.
Philip, who you got, brother? Give me 1 or 2 guys. Who's your draft candidate before we run this mock draft?
I'm gonna just go with 2, so it gives other people a chance to name other guys. But I'm sticking with Will Johnson, and I'm going with Walker out of Georgia.
I knew you was going Will Johnson. Robert, goes to you, brother. Who you got? 1 or 2 people. Who you
Terry
got?
in the chat already knows Will Johnson. He's that guy, bro.
Yeah, I'm all about pass rush. I'm either with Mike Green or James Pierce out of Tennessee.
Okay.
I don't think we could lose with either one of those.
I'm rocking with both of those, Robert. Rick, who you got, brother?
I got Mike Green first for sure, and then either Jihad Campbell. I still like
Jihad Campbell, dude.
That's Malachi Starks. I think when
Malachi Starks. Okay.
From what I'm hearing, he's a generational talent at that position.
The safest pick.
I know your need, but I think that's hard to pass up when you have an Ed Reed type player just waiting right there.
He's sitting there at 15, still available. You can't pass on it, dude. Yeah, we got some good names here.
Well, that plus the fact, we just signed Jordan Fuller, but there's no guarantee that could pan out. I mean, Starks will be, that's a no-brainer, dude.
Fuller's taking what's his name spot? What's our backup safety that we just got rid of?
Richie Grant.
Yeah.
Fuller's taking Grant's space, and then Malachi will
Malachi's going to take his role. We got some good names here from Alno. He says James Pierce Jr. or Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart, we mentioned him first night on our top 10 draft board. Cody, Phillip, I don't know if Rick was here yet, but Robert, we talked about Shamar Stewart. We said he was a good run stuffer. He didn't have the sack numbers we wanted to see, but Shamar Stewart has been a sleeper pick. So, guys, this if this doesn't feel like a Falcon pick to me than any other pick, Shamar Stewart would be the pick that surprised every Falcon fan because nobody in the circle that we just had here on the table said Shamar Stewart. But
it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good piece that we would need.
That, to me, if you look at these draft picks, the only one that people really hit on was Bijan Robinson. And Kyle Pitts, obviously. They knew the Falcons would select Kyle Pitts. Falcon fans didn't really believe that they were going to draft Bijan, but the media said it was going to happen. We all thought it would be Jalen Carter. Another guy, Drake London. Who thought we was taking Drake London at that spot? Nobody.
Not me.
So, Shamar Stewart at 15. All I'm saying is don't write it off. That could be something that happens. Terry in the chat with it says Starks, William Green, or Will Johnson. 82 Money Carlos says I think they take Starks because Fuller's going to be out of here next year. They're going to go pick up a Bulldog to shut up.
We already got Leonard Floyd. We're good.
2 of them dogs in the backfield. Falcon fans, we might as well do a mock draft, and then we got a topic right after the mock draft. And I'll give you my top picks. I would say Mike Green, no brainer, definitely Mike Green, and obviously Malachi Starks. I've been high on Malachi from the start. If you take Malachi Starks at 15,
Chase is a Malachi Starks
camper.
Top tier glazer, bro. Like all over that donut, bro. He's he's glazing, which ain't bad. I
love what he does, dude. I love what he does.
But boys, I'm trying to tell y'all, he's a top tier glazer for that man right now.
Well, let's just happen and see what the draft simulator says here. We'll do one round slow, enter the draft. We'll see what happens. If my shit don't lag on us, boys. All right. Can y'all see that? Everybody can see that?
Yeah. QB.
I can't see nothing.
We'll scroll.
Damn, man.
We'll scroll back up here.
Literally.
A second and see what was selected. Just let it go through.
No, bro.
Will Johnson at 6, Shador Sanders at 7 to the Jets. That's crazy.
Who?
They took a receiver. Shamar Stewart at 10 to the.
You know what I just thought about?
Williams.
Unfortunately, seeing that nasty ass Saints logo. The Saints had to let go of Taysom Hill. What about Taysom Hill at the backup quarterback position?
I would take it.
Hey,
we can do the funniest thing ever.
And run the same damn plays back on them.
Yep.
So we got a predicament here. We can trade our number 15 pick with the Bucks.
Fuck the
We
Buccaneers.
can do this one with the Bucks. Yeah, obviously, I would say next on that. We'll say next. All right, Vegas is talking cash right here, boys. Vegas is talking picks. There's a guy on this board that Vegas wants. All right, so we're going to go back on this board here, and we're going to see who has been selected, who's still available. Number 1, Cameron Ward. Number 2, Travis Hunter. 3, Armin Memor. Abdul Carter at 4. I don't think Abdul Carter falls to 4, but anyway. Will Campbell at 5. Will Johnson at 6. Shador Sanders at 7. Man, this screen is lagging so hard on me right now. 1 second. What in the world? Okay. Anyway, Shador Sanders at 7. I can't say that guy's name. At 8 to the Pansies. Mason Graham, defensive tackle. Shamar Stewart goes to the Bears. Michael Williams at 11. So there's another one off the board. I believe our guy Mike Green is still on the draft board, guys.
Yes, sir, he is.
Mike Green is still available. Malik Neighbors is still available. And we have some trade offers on the table.
Neighbors.
So, who?
You said Malik.
Did I say Malik Neighbors?
Oh, bro, that's last year. Get with the
I meant
program.
Mike Green, bro.
Damn,
I meant Mike Green,
2025.
bro. Anyway,
Let's see some of our trade
knockout
offers.
starts still available. Jalen Walker. Let's see. Where did the trade offers go?
It looks like it's in the middle.
That,
The green button.
Anybody? Yep, there it is. Yep. All right, Tampa Bay, pick 19, pick 53.
Reject.
We have Las Vegas with pick 37, pick 68, pick 108, and 2026 second-round pick for this one spot.
I just don't think our team's in position to fall that far back. We need a high impact
I was
player.
about to say,
I don't
Exactly.
either. I don't either.
37,
Exactly.
37, pick 37's in round 2.
I would take Tampa's pick over this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's a division rival,
Plus,
I mean,
you're at a
still,
high
I mean,
risk. You have two of the 2 players that we just named still on the board.
You're right.
Yeah.
that we
Our
can
top of the
possibly
board
use.
players are there. Was that it?
So that was our trade offers. That was
I think we
I
take.
thought there
Mike.
was 2. That was
oh,
one.
see.
Yeah.
You think we take Mike Green from Rick?
I mean,
Philip,
well-
you got Cody, Rick.
Well,
Robert.
hang on there. And the Falcon move at 15, the Falcons select Matthew Golden from Texas.
No, for my Falcon. No. For number 15 pick, they go Ashton Johnson.
So I think if Mike
Oh, that'd
Green's
be
still
great.
on there, dude, you got to take
Ain't
Mike
no way
Green.
Ashton Johnson's on the board.
That's what I'm saying. Not this
Yeah, he's-
Travis bullshit.
That's crazy. So Mike Green's still at the spot of 15. We're taking him. Mike Green's the guy. He's the pick.
I'm still
Hold on. Before, okay, too late.
I was feeling kind of
Oh,
starved.
my
The
bad,
Falcons
my
don't
bad.
do the character thing, and so
Jalen Walker maybe would have been the safer pick probably, which was selected right after Mike Green.
I was surprised Jalen Walker wasn't picked.
Yeah.
That's who.
Knockout starts goes
Either way.
to
Either way,
Seattle. Ashton Giante falls to 21 in this draft board.
that would be nasty for the Steelers. That'd be a good pickup. for them.
Yeah, because they did lose Najee.
Where do you go?
Oh, Chargers?
Hold on.
No,
I like that.
I think he may have went to the Chargers. I'm not sure. Jahad Campbell falls all the way to number 29.
God, please don't put him on the Commanders.
All the way to 29.
I'm about to say Washington's building a nasty team.
Commanders have an off season, boy. I'm scared.
Like
Alrighty.
Detroit at this point, they ain't even the problem no more.
Who would you
Washington will be
compare
tough.
Mike Green to? Sterling Woods with a comment to all of us here at DFU. Says, who would you compare Mike Green to? That's a tough question because I really, it's hard to say. It's hard to compare a player until you see that player against NFL.
I don't think so.
wow.
The guy that when I watched what very little tape of Mike Green that I did get to watch, who he reminded me of without quite the size was Terrell Suggs. Just
Okay.
that first step and just bam right there.
I'll take Suggs all day.
Yeah, I would say if he's a smaller, lighter version of Terrell Suggs but has the same production, give it to me all day.
Oh yeah.
Robert, Rick, Philip, any other comparison you got for Mike Green?
Well, I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but I mean, the way he manhandled that tackle from Oregon, he had a little bit of that Lawrence Taylor nastiness to him, which
That's what I was kind of thinking.
I mean, like I said, it's a bit of a stretch. Lawrence Taylor's a Hall of Famer for a reason, and this kid's just coming out of college. But hey, who knows?
From that, based off that clip is all we have, pretty much. So I mean,
yeah, but still, I mean, he manhandled that big old dude.
He did.
But when I seen that, I was like, if he's available at 15 and Terry don't take him, I hope his seat's on fire.
I know it's hard. It's hard to pass up on Mike Green at 15.
Yeah.
Like, that's your number one player on your board, or our board anyway. I don't know about that. To me, that's best player available at that point.
Yeah.
But to pass on him at 15 to grab draft capital is going to have a lot of Falcon fans irate.
And he's number 15.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like given. It's like right there. It's
given.
It's chosen. Like that's who you need.
That's the word of the day. It's given.
That's
Somebody
the guy.
compared him to Khalil Mack. I don't think he's as big as Khalil Mack, but they made that comparison.
Mike Green, man, to the Atlanta Falcons, I'm all for it. Our last topic to close out tonight's show before we give our shout-outs, a quick little topic. This one's going to hit home at our middle co-host here in the top of the screen. Are we done with Koo, or are we rocking with Younghoe Koo for the rest of the remainder season? Are we looking for a guy that can maybe come in and maybe make Koo's seat a little high and push him to be that kicker that Koo has been known to be in Atlanta other than this last I would say a year and a half. Cody, the mic's yours, and then we'll rotate around the table.
No, Koo's not going anywhere. He was hurt last year. They kept pushing him out there, forcing him to kick with that. It's hard enough kicking field goals while you're healthy. Believe me, I've tried. It is not easy to feat. So I can't imagine what it's like doing it when there's 61,000 people watching you do it. Koo's going to be fine. He will be fine. He'll come back healthy. He'll be fine. I'm rocking with Koo till the wheels fall off. Now, don't get me wrong. If he starts, if he kind of falls off towards the middle of the season like he did this year, it may be time to start looking. But until that time, it's Koo time.
Koo. Philip, the question goes to you. Who do you are you rocking with Koo for this season, or are you maybe finding a guy to kind of make that seat a little hot?
So okay, I think we keep him. But I feel you need to bring in a guy to. There's nothing wrong with competition.
Well,
I don't mean to cut you short, out of him.
Not only even competition, but there was a point where you did get hurt, as Cody stated. He did get hurt, but there was a point where you didn't have a kicker. Like, you didn't have nobody to kick a field goal,
and that's what makes it even better. It's they're going to just make each other better. You get the best out of him every game. And if he, just say, God forbid, he gets hurt, then you got that guy who's you've also been bringing the best out of. You got him backing you up. So it's like a good little 1v1, I guess you could say, but like it's just something to bring in a little competition, you know what I mean? So I don't see nothing wrong with it, but I still think we rock with him throughout the season. And like Cody said, unless midseason, he has another collapse, then we'll go from there. But as of right now, I think we run with him.
Robert,
I agree. I think he stays around, and maybe just as an insurance policy. I mean, maybe bring in another kicker that's practice squad eligible. In case we have another, because what was that guy's name? Riley Patterson?
Yeah, you can't
get him out of here.
You cannot keep him around.
I'm gonna just say this here. Raheem set him up to fail against Washington.
Yeah, and
bro, you knew he wasn't making that shit.
And the guy had
right.
When was the last time he actually kicked in a game? Before we signed him.
I'm saying.
Well, but the ridiculous thing about that was he was what was the first game he was kicking for us when they finally admitted Koo was hurt, and he was at home. He was kicking from the fucking logo and making them. Yeah. And so that's why at the Washington game, I was like, well, this isn't the logo shot, but It's a it's a little closer in, and then he shortchanges it by almost 10 yards.
It looks so center, dude. It looks so.
Sometimes it is different though when you have
I thought that shit was good.
I feel like it's sometimes different when you're just free ball, like free kicking it. You know what I mean?
It is different when you free ball.
But when
it is real when you free ball.
It's pretty comfortable free balling.
But when you have 11 men in front of you, that's like mostly the tallest guys on the team, and they're up having their hands in the air. Sometimes I feel
all some motherfucker had to do was all that motherfucker had to do was hitting its 15 fucking yards and a free first down.
Yeah.
Like I said, Raheem set him up to fail.
Oh.
Chase is sus, guys, and hey, just get him out of here, bro. Get him out of here, bro.
Yeah, I think that we need to
it's time for it's bedtime for him. He don't know how to
said free ball is different. Robert,
what are you doing, man? You take everything so literal, bro.
Yeah, if there's somebody out there, like that, we could keep on the practice squad, and keep their keep some kind of momentum going, keep themselves in shape during the year. And if Koo gets hurt again, God forbid, somebody that can come in and fill in. And obviously Riley Patterson was not that guy. I agree, get him out of here. But, and of course, if the competition, lights a fire under Koo, there's nothing wrong with that. But as far as, we need to rock with Koo. I mean, he's a fan favorite. We're comfortable with him. He was hurt. I think he'll back up him better than ever.
Let me ask you and Cody this and Philip. If Koo's missing field goals in preseason, are you worried?
Hell yeah, I'm worried. What the hell's going on?
No, he did it this past preseason. He missed a couple.
A lot of preseason.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say he missed that season that he's drilled how many of them to win us the game. He was missing them in preseason then too. Preseason is practice for a reason. It may be he's trying out a different kick style. He's just getting in the swing of thing.
He better get his ass ready because that's all I'm saying. If I see a missed field goal, I'm in Atlanta whooping his ass. I'm telling you right now. But if it's 20 to 17 by the end of the game, we don't get that to go into overtime, I'm whooping his ass.
I will say he'll be
his
fine.
Ass.
Well, here's my thing too, though, is like, could Bradley Pinion not have kicked field goals? Like, I mean, that dude, like, he's got a boot, dude. Like, he does. Why not give Bradley Pinion a shot at kicking him when Koo got hurt? That's all he fucking does too is kick the ball. Why can't he? Instead of, running up and kicking it off a tee, why can't he, run up and kick it with somebody holding it with their finger?
Well, I mean, we had a situation like that back in the mid-2000s when our punter, Michael Kanan, Morton Anderson was getting up in years, and he didn't have that range that he had. And they brought Kanan in to kick those 50 and 60-yarders.
What?
Kanan was I remember that. Kanan, that was
he just brought up a player that I just totally, in my mind, just forgot about, bro. God, bro, that hit me. It's like I'm in a whole other life now, bro.
Hey, I'm an old fart. I remember some of the most obscure players that this team's ever had. So.
Rick, the question goes to you, Rick. Koo, are you rocking with him, dog, or are you maybe looking for somebody else this offseason?
I think Koo's been such a clutch player for too long for this franchise that one and done season, you can't do that to a player like him. Fans like him, the players like him, the coaches. Even last year, like, I don't give a fuck. We're rocking with Koo. And I feel the same way. I was looking at his stats. He was 4 makes away from his average. So he missed 4 ultimately, and he would have had the same season that he always had. It just happened that they came at clutch times in the Saints game. I think he missed 3 at one time. So I don't think it was as dire as it seemed. The problem was he got hurt. So I think we bring in an undrafted free agent, something like that, to a young guy to kind of get ready next couple years. But you got to stay with Koo.
Yep. Love it. Love to hear it. Young Way Koo. We'll see you in the bins, baby. Falcon fans, hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We have reached our 1 hour mark for tonight's show. Real quick before we get out of here, if you subscribe and you're new to the channel, new subscribers are entered for the chance to win the Work Done giveaway raffle jersey here on the channel. Hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe. Philip, Cody, Rick, Robert, shout outs for tonight's show, brothers, before we get ready to close this thing out.
Yes, sir. I'll say shout out to you fellas coming on, talking Dirty Bird football. God, I can't wait for the season. I would say April can't get here fast enough for the draft, and September damn sure can't get here quick enough. I'm so ready for Falcon football. Shout out to everybody that is in the comment section, keeping the conversation going. Always keep liking, sharing, putting us out there. Get us in that algorithm for other Falcon fans. We marching to 1K. That we're like 21 away, 23 away from 500.
We're at 490 right now, so we're 10 away from 500.
10 away from 500. So, keep pushing us out there. We'll keep bringing Falcon content and giveaways and all that wonderful stuff. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to my wife out there watching. I'll be out there soon, and we'll watch a movie and all that wonderful stuff. But
it's movie night at the house too, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I want to say. But
Jason's watching the back of his eyelids, guys. He's blind. It's way past his bedtime now.
Wait till you get in your 30s, Philip. You'll be there too, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm already there, but don't worry.
You'll get there.
I'll admit it. I'm like that now.
But other than that, man, shout out to the team and all the players currently on this roster. Can't wait to see what y'all got, coming. Shout out to the new Falcons when they eventually get here. But other than that, guys, rise up.
Rise up, Cody, man. Glad to have you here tonight. Glad we was able to get in some Dirty Bird football talk.
Yes, sir.
Philip, shout outs for tonight, brother.
Shout out you boys. Shout out everybody in the comments. Sorry, I just read that. Shout out to Destiny for telling the truth. We know how Chase is. Shout out y'all boys. Shout out everybody in the chat. It was a good show. What ran very smoothly, man. They're coming back after 2 weeks. Man, it's been fun. It was fun tonight. So
I wanted to say something before you continue to give your shots. I wanted to say Rondell Moore, man. Rondell Moore is officially out of Atlanta. The breaking news: he was signed with another team. So we did talk about Rondell. I just wanted to mention that. Come on, man. Come on.
Let's say one more shout out. Oh, wow. One more shout out. Shout out to your camera, Chase. It didn't go out this podcast.
Yes, sir.
Let's say this is the first one in a while I had to cut out on you.
But you knew you were wrong when you spotted the camera. I didn't even think about it. Shout out to the webcam. It didn't give out on us. His mic was working. The show ran smoothly. Thank God, man. We are blessed. We are blessed. Like, truly meaning that. We seen another day, man. So, shout out to God, man. That's number one. So, other than that, man, y'all already know. Rise up, baby.
Rise up, Mr. Robert. Shout outs for tonight, brother.
Nah, let me stop.
Well, shout out to you guys for letting me be a part of this. It's always an honor and a pleasure to talk Dirty Bird football with you guys. It's the best podcast in the world as far as I'm concerned. And shout out to our viewers, our subscribers. Without you guys, this isn't possible. Just keep up the support. And shout out to God. I'm in his hands tomorrow. May he guide that surgeon's hands and help get my vision back. And shout out to the Falcons themselves. Shout out to the players that are coming in and, the players that are sticking around. Looking forward to seeing you guys in action throughout the summer and when the season starts. And as always, shout out to my family, Brianna, Peyton, Zach, Christy. I love y'all. And as always, rise up.
Rise up, Mr. Robert, man. Glad to have you here tonight, Robert. And always, prayers to you, brother. Prayers to
Appreciate
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Rick, shout outs for tonight, brother.
As y'all know, I told you earlier that I had an incident this past week. First time in my life, 42 years, I got to spend 4 days in the hospital. I was kind of nervous about that, so I'm going to spend my time on thanking the RNs, the nurses that were there. There was probably about 8 of them at St. John Emory. And when I tell you guys that those people treated me like family, they were so gentle, thoughtful, caring, loving, every interaction. They had to come in every 2 hours, and they were making sure not to wake me and taking care of me. And I'll help you bathe and whatever you need. It was like having my grandmother with me at all times. Every person in that building is a straight up angel. What they do for people all day, every day to make them as comfortable as humanly possible. And then in the worst scenarios, man, those people are highly underpaid, highly underappreciated. So shout out the nurses, everybody who works at Emory St. John, man, love you guys. Thank you so much. It was a world-class experience. And that 4 days was torture for me. And they're the ones who made it better because we had fun. We joked around. They took care of me. And so love those guys. Appreciate it. And to God, obviously, for bringing me back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. As always, man, shout out to all you guys. Glad we were able to have a full cast tonight, a full membership of DFU here on the podcast, man. Glad to have everybody here tonight. Episode 137, man. We racking up the episodes slowly but surely, getting close to that 200 mark here for episode. Man, it seemed like we started this thing last year. So it's like not even last year we started up DFU. Now we're at episode 137 for tonight, man. So shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to all the new commenters, everybody that liked tonight, everybody that's left a subscription in the past. Shout out to you guys. Just a simple like really makes the podcast reach out to other people, and we appreciate it. If you're watching this after the podcast, leave a comment. We'll be sure to get to you in the comment section on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, wherever it may be at. Leave a comment. We'll be able to get back to you. Shout out to my awesome crew here, man. Without you guys, we would not be doing this show. Shout out to my wife, the good Lord above. Shout out to the kids in the other room, man. Shout out to Robert and Rick. Robert, prayers to you, brother. Rick, prayers to you on your road to recovery. Philip, the gutters are still stuffed, so let's get those unstuffed tomorrow. And Cody, keep doing what you do, Cody, man. Glad to have you here on DFP, brother. Falcon fans, hit that like button. Leave a comment. Falcon fans, rise up. We appreciate y'all, man. 8 pound down. We out of here, man. Appreciate